All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopefully elect out there. All right, so I got a couple things to address in this video. First of all, I received a comment from Uzelia Jacob, and the question is, it says, Shalom, doesn't the chicken eat rats and not just the cud? So I'm gonna address that first, and then I'm gonna give you some advice, sister. All right. So first of all, this guy here. First of all, chickens don't eat cud. When you go into that scripture, it doesn't really talk about what the chickens eat. It just calls them a flying, creeping. Let's see here. I believe that is Leviticus 11. All right. So when it gets down to these are these are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are in an abomination, the eagle and the ossifrage and the osprey. So this is talking about the fowls that actually fly, you see, and the vulture and the kite, every raven, the owl, the nighthawk, the cuckoo, the hawk after his kind, the owl, the cormorant, the great owl, the swan, the pelican, the gyre eagle, the stork, the heron, the lapwing, and the bat. All right. So when you look at these, we see what they all have in common. They all eat. They're scavengers. They eat rotten flesh. They eat things of that nature. And so we assume that's why the Most High said we shouldn't eat them. But we have to remember the Most High's ways are higher than our ways. There may be yet indeed another reason why the Most High said to abstain from these particular animals. All right, so let's continue. All fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. Yet, these may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which he said this represents all toes. This guy here, well, it's not at that particular point. This guy here, he's off. He's hella off. But anyway, this guy here says that it means all four toes, But typically the idea is just that it creeps low to the ground and it's, and it has wings. It's a fowl that creepeth towards the ground. Anyway, let's continue. Yet these may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which I assume means going low to the ground, which have legs above their feet to leap withal upon the earth. So if it has legs above the feet to leap withal upon the earth, and it's a creeping, flying thing, such as the chicken or the turkey, the pheasant and these different things, even these of them may ye eat, the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind, but all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. Now, of course, we know that chickens don't have 4 feet, and he's interpreting it as 4 toes. But the thing is this, if you will confirm a quail, when you look up quail, chickens are in the same family. Now, the question you have is this, all right? I just want to preface that situation. You said, doesn't the chicken eat rats and not just the cud? Well, like I said, he doesn't eat cud. I don't believe the chickens chew the cud and have 4 or 5 stomachs. I mean, we've all looked inside of a chicken. He doesn't have 4 or 5 stomachs. But, and we'll get to that in a second, right there that I just clicked on. But, so, it's not up to us as to what the Most High says is clean, Now, it's just general consensus. This is the thing about it. If it's a sin, the Most High lets it be known that it's a sin. Not no dude just gonna hop out of nowhere and just say, "Oh, chicken is a sin," and nobody else knows about it. You see, these guys in this small little niche group who are saying chicken is a sin. Well, why is it put in the same family as a quail? But let me answer your question like this, okay? Because the Christian church uses this to say anybody that says keep the law and that you can't eat pork and that you can't eat swine, whatever, that you can't eat shrimp and lobster, they use this scripture to say, see, we can eat what we want. But in actuality, this is what that guy is doing. This is exactly what that guy is doing. He's forbidding you from eating a meat that the Most High said is clean to eat. 1 Timothy 4:3, forbidding to marry. Let's just get a little context. 1 Timothy 4:1, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times, the end times where we are right now, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, which is what that dude's giving heed to, speaking lies and hypocrisy. having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats which the Most High have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. So if you know that you can eat a creeping flying thing with legs to leap upon the earth, well, that's chicken all day. That's turkey all day. It don't matter what they eat. According to our understanding, that we just know that as long as you ain't eating no hawks, no owls, and those other birds that were named, then you're fine. You see? Now, if we're going to go off of, okay, they eat dead bodies, they eat this, they eat that, then you have to ask yourself a question. Well, is salmon okay to eat? Because what do salmon eat? Okay? Basic facts about salmon. Now, we know the scripture says, let's just read it. Let's go back. Let's go to the whatsoever. Let's see. All that have not. Okay, so lucky. Let's get to the one. Leviticus 11:9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Well, let's check the salmon. Fins. This is just a drawing, but he has scales. Fins and scales. Fins and scales. They all got scales and fins. Fins, scales. This is fins and scales. See? Fins and scales. So let's just find out what salmon eat. And I'm sure there are fish that eat other stuff, but I know about salmon because the color of their flesh comes from things that they eat. See? In general, young salmon eat insects, invertebrates, and plankton. Adults eat other fish, so they do cannibalism. They eat squid, they eat eels, and shrimp, which is why they get their pink color from eating shrimp and crustaceans. Unlike all other salmon, the sockeye salmon has a diet that consists almost entirely of plankton. So this is that particular form of salmon is different. But typically, what do they eat? Shrimp. You see? And other things, other fish, squid, eels, they eat abominations. But the scriptures just told you what? We know the truth shall make you free. What did the scriptures say? These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers. Them shall ye eat. So they're a clean animal. So when somebody comes and tells you you can't eat chicken, they're doing this scripture right here. They're forbidding to marry, which they ain't really saying that. He's actually promoting it, having a dating website built into his website, which is completely off, which ain't gonna do nothing but be a breeding ground for fornication, or not fornication, but for adultery, which is part of that definition of that word fornication is adultery, and the other part of it is spiritual fornication. All right, he's commanding to abstain from meats which the Most High have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. So we know the truth that fins and scales equals a clean fish, and we can eat that. We know the truth that having legs above the feet to leap upon the earth equals a clean fowl, a flying, creeping thing, i.e. chicken, because it does fly for short distances and it creeps. It's low to the ground and it jumps, as I showed in my video. Okay. Now, sister, to the advice portion, because I clicked on your channel to see what was going on, and I see here that you make videos. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've heard it before, but brothers bring it out all the time. Let's just get the classic scripture. Okay. 1 Timothy 2:12. Now I'll actually start above that. 1 Timothy 2. And you seem to have modest apparel. But let's continue. And 11. 1 Timothy 2:11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, which means being subject unto the men, the teacher, the husband, if you have one. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So it tells you, it's saying here, the Most High speaking through Paul, to say, I suffer not a woman to teach. So even let's just say that you're not directing your teachings towards men. It is frowned upon in the truth especially particularly the brothers of GMS, we frown upon and we do not believe in women making videos, okay? And so my advice to you, sister, will be to stop making videos. You might want to delete your videos. Come under the tutors and the governors, the men, the apostles of GMS and the brothers of GMS. If you have any questions, you can ask them on the comment board in sincerity and humbly, and we will. And if the spirit is on us, we will answer your question as I did in this video. But you should not be teaching, okay? I just wanted to let you know that, sister, you are in error, and according to the scriptures, you're sinning. This is not something you should do. Okay. Now I'm not calling you Jezebel, but the scripture pops to mind, and I'm gonna go grab it. All right. All right. Um, Revelation 2:18, and unto the angel, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, and unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of the Most High, who hath his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass, Yahweh Shai. I know thy works in charity and service and faith, and thy patience and thy works, and the last to be more than the first. You see? Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. But the first thing he said is that they allow her to teach. Even Yahweh Shai is saying here, hey, look, we ain't with that. The woman calling herself a prophetess, you suffering her to teach. And among other things that she's doing, but she should not be teaching. So I just want to hopefully answer your question and also give you that exhortation, that advice that you should not be teaching. And better coming from me than one of the less studious brothers who would cuss you out and tell you to shut the fuck up. You see? Anyway, all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopefully elect out there. With that, I say shalom.